So you've got a Bhuvi and a Bumrah. Those are the names that you write down in your 11 when you're playing an ODI. Bumrah, of course, being rested for this one. Is there a problem of who your third is right now? Is there a lot of choice? Maybe India management is not being able to figure out who they really want to back, because one game and then dropping, getting Siraj in can also feel unfair to some people.
Yeah, it does. I mean, not just for Khalil, for anybody. I mean, when you go into a series, forget about, as you said, the World Cup, but you've gone into a series playing an 11, you believe that these are your best 11.
Yeah.
And overnight, you're not going to make that decision. I felt that when I saw the last game, as Khalil at the last few overs when he was running or chasing a ball, he didn't look, strong enough when he was running behind the ball, and that's why I felt that this could happen. Whereas it's an opportunity for Shiraz as well. I mean, you haven't seen him.
Yeah.
So I think if looking forward, and we may think differently, but what we hear from the management all the time is that they're still looking at combinations that they can come up with.
Yeah.
So they're still experimenting, but I think it's a bit too late to be experimenting.
Yeah.
No, it's time to settle down, in the sense that not that play the same 11. The third seamer for me has always depended not on the quality of seamer that he is. The third seamer should always be dependent on what stage is he going to bowl at, who's going to be bowling with.
Yeah.
So you may have a bowler who's better than the other guy, but he may not be used in that particular way.
So interesting.
See,
like you think with batsmen in positions,
yes,
bowler also think position.
Bowler is always position, except the Mohammad Shami, I feel, is one of the finest bowlers, even for a one-day game. But you got to get him to bowl his overs before the 35th over is over.
Yeah.
Because that's his natural length, that's his comfortable length, and that's where his potency is maximum. So you try and get him to bowl in the slog and get Bumrah to bowl in the middle, although Bumrah would do that as well at the moment, but it won't be as effective. So you try and find a combination what works best for you and helps the other four guys as well. So in that case, I don't think we found the third seamer as yet.
Interesting. Let's ask the first seamer, who has been the first seamer for many games. What do
I
you
think the positions are very important, how we're going to use a particular bowler, and Shami has been back in the side only for one reason, that he's got that control over length. But I'm fully agreeing with Ajay on the point that Shami's overs should be finished before 40 overs. That's something which has been a concern area for him. He has been leaking runs in the last 10. But if you look at his first spell and the second spell has always been spot on and economical. So that's something which we've seen with Australian team as well. In the first match, Barendorf finished his overs around 37 overs.
Yeah.
So you can stack up the overs in that fashion where you get the maximum out of a bowler. Like when you look at Bhuvneshwar Kumar, you'd always see that his strength has been swing. So you have to use him up front. There is no point using Bhuvneshwar Kumar after 10 overs. So then you're actually taking him away from his strength areas. So that's something which we've seen with Indian team trying to experiment, because when Bumrah is back, he's going to bowl with new ball. Bhuvneshwar is probably going to be part of the playing 11 and will be bowling with a new ball. So you are looking at bowler who can come after 10 overs, control those middle overs along with your spinners, so that you can use and rotate the spinners as well in the middle overs. So that's something which has been the thought process. Whether they've found the answers or no, because we've been seeing all these changes, that's something which is very clear that they're still looking at that position.
I really like that point, because I don't think I've heard this before. Like, you need a proper middle overs bowler, because if all the bowlers have a strength of bowling up front, तो बाद में कौन डालेगा? डालने तो 50 हैं.
Or conditions, I mean, we're going to be here in New Zealand series. I think New Zealand, the third seamer actually makes more difference in a game than the first couple of seamers.
Yeah.
Because the first 10-12 overs go the same mostly around the world.
Yeah.
But in conditions in New Zealand, the third seamer who's going to bowl from 10 to 25, 35, that's the most crucial stage.
Yeah.
So if Shami carries on, I have no doubts that at the end of the New Zealand series, everybody's going to say, oh, Shami should be your number one bowler here.
Yeah.
Because his length, his natural length, and his line that he bowls is the most effective length there.
Yeah.
So conditions also matter, who you play, when you play, but it's how you use them. I keep going back to that. It's the captain's game.